A young man, burdened by the weight of his unfulfilled dreams, once sought the wisdom of a great master. He traveled for days, climbing steep mountains until he reached a serene temple garden. "Master," he pleaded, his voice trembling with desperation, "I am filled with ambition. I have grand visions for my life, but I cannot seem to focus. The world around me is a storm of noise and distraction. People's opinions cut me down, fleeting pleasures tempt me off my path, and the smallest obstacle makes me want to give up. How can I achieve anything when my mind is so scattered?" The wise master listened with a calm, knowing expression. He didn't offer a lecture or a complex philosophy. Instead, he walked over to a small table, picked up a simple wooden spoon, and carefully placed 2 shimmering drops of oil into its shallow bowl. He held it out to the young man. "I can share with you the greatest secret to success and happiness," the master said, his voice as gentle as the wind rustling through the bamboo. "But first, you must prove you are ready to receive it. You must pass a simple test." The young man's eyes widened with anticipation. He would do anything. "Take this spoon," the master instructed, "and walk through the entire village. I want you to see everything: the bustling market, the graceful dancers in the square, the craftsmen at their work, the children playing in the streets. Observe the life of our community. But there is one rule, and it is absolute. If you spill even a single drop of this oil, you will have failed the test, and you must return here at once." The young man's heart pounded in his chest. The task seemed simple, yet the consequence of failure felt immense. He took the spoon, his hand surprisingly steady, and nodded. "I will not fail, master." He bowed deeply and turned to leave the tranquility of the temple, his grip tight on the small wooden handle. As he stepped through the temple gates, the world exploded with sound and color. The quiet garden was replaced by a chaotic, vibrant village street. It was a festival day. The air thrummed with the beat of heavy drums, and the melody of flutes danced on the wind. Merchants, with booming voices, shouted their prices, advertising exotic spices, glistening silks, and handcrafted jewelry. The aroma of roasting meats and sweet pastries filled the air, a temptation in itself. Almost immediately, old friends spotted him. "Hey, come, join us. We've saved you a seat," they called, raising their cups from a nearby tavern. He heard their laughter and felt a pang of longing to join them, to forget his strange task for just a moment. But he remembered the oil. He kept walking. Further down the path, a group of local bullies, who had often teased him for being a dreamer, noticed his slow, deliberate pace. "Look at him," one of them sneered, "walking like an old man. What are you carrying that's so precious? A single tear from your last failure." They erupted in cruel laughter. The insults stung, and his first instinct was to shout back, to defend his honor. But he looked down at the spoon. The 2 drops of oil quivered, reflecting the bright sun. They were his entire world. He didn't look up. He didn't answer his friends. He didn't acknowledge the bullies. His eyes were locked on the delicate balance of the oil. He walked with an unnatural grace, his body a perfect shock absorber for the uneven cobblestones. He blocked out the sun's glare, the deafening noise, the taunts, and the temptations. In his mind, the entire bustling village, with all its life and energy, faded into a distant, blurry hum. But the only thing that existed, the only thing that mattered, was the fragile, shimmering surface in the spoon. Hours felt like minutes. When he finally walked back through the temple gates, the sun was beginning to set, casting long shadows across the garden. The master was waiting for him, a gentle smile on his face. The young man held out the spoon. The 2 drops of oil were still there, perfectly preserved. He had not spilled a single drop. "Well done," the master said warmly. "You have passed. Now tell me what you saw on your journey. Did you see the beautiful silks the merchants were selling from the Far East? Did you hear the enchanting music the dancers performed to in the main square? Did you taste the sweet air? Did you notice the way the light fell upon the mountains at midday?" The young man blinked, confused. He searched his memory, but it was a blank. "No, master," he admitted, a little ashamed. I saw nothing. I heard nothing. My only concern was the oil. I was so focused on not spilling it that everything else disappeared." The master's smile widened. He placed a kind hand on the young man's shoulder. "And that," he said, his voice resonating with profound truth, "is the secret you were looking for." The young man looked from the spoon to the master's wise eyes, starting to understand. "The world will always be loud," the master explained. "There will always be merchants trying to sell you something you don't need. There will always be dancers to tempt you away from your path. There will always be friends inviting you to rest when you should be working, and bullies who mock your every step. These things will never go away." He paused, letting the words sink in. True focus is not about building higher walls to block out the world. It's not about fighting your distractions. It is about finding your oil. It is about choosing a goal so important, so precious to you, that the distractions simply fade away on their own. When you truly value what you are carrying, you don't have to try to ignore the noise. The noise ceases to exist for you. Your goal becomes your entire universe. The young man looked down at the spoon one last time. In his mind, the 2 drops of oil began to glow, transforming into a brilliant symbol of his own dream. A profound peace washed over him. He finally understood. So the real question isn't how to eliminate your distractions. The real question is, what is your oil? Find that, and you will find your focus. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, subscribe for more content that feeds your focus and starves your distractions.